You know, that feeling of being stressed, it's rarely just one big thing, is it? It's more like 1,000 tiny paper cuts that just add up. Well, in this explainer, we're going to give you a powerful new way to think about those paper cuts, and more importantly, how you can start to manage them. Let's dive in.
Yeah, that feeling. It's not the one huge deadline that finally gets you. It's the deadline plus the argument you had this morning, the fact you slept terribly, the traffic jam, the constant notifications on your phone. Each one feels like just a single drop, but pretty soon you feel like you're caught in a flood. But what if we could reframe that feeling? What if it's not some uncontrollable flood? I want you to imagine instead that you have a personal stress bucket. This bucket represents your total capacity to handle everything life throws at you. And every single stressor, whether it's big or small, adds a little bit of water to it.
And look, this isn't just some nice little metaphor. It's actually a really useful way to visualize a real biological process happening inside you. The whole idea is that all stress, no matter where it comes from, accumulates in the exact same place. Now, the science behind our bucket actually has a name. It's called allostatic load. It sounds complicated, but all it really means is the cumulative wear and tear on your body. It's the price your body pays for constantly having to adapt to all these challenges without ever really getting a break to reset. So, what's filling this bucket? And maybe the bigger question is, why does it feel like in our modern world, the tap is just always on, just constantly dripping and dripping and dripping? Okay, here's the absolute core of the problem. Our brains are basically running on old software. Our stress response system was designed for the ancient world, for short, intense, physical threats, like a tiger jumping out at you. You fight it or you run away, and then it's over. But today the tiger is a never-ending inbox. The threat isn't physical, it's psychological. It doesn't last for a few minutes, it can last for years. And, this is the critical part, there's no physical release at the end to tell our bodies that the danger is finally gone. So these are the kinds of modern stressors that are constantly pouring water into our buckets. Things like arguments at work, worrying about money, but also things we might not even label as stress, like not getting enough sleep or sitting still all day. And you can see how they feed each other, right? Stress causes you to sleep poorly, and sleeping poorly adds even more water to the bucket. It becomes this really nasty, vicious cycle. So this brings us to a really critical point. What happens when that tap just keeps on running and the water level keeps rising and we don't do anything to drain it? Well, eventually, the bucket is going to overflow. And let's be clear, an overflowing bucket isn't just having a bad day. It's a total health breakdown. It's the complete and utter exhaustion of burnout. It's our immune system giving up, our ability to make good decisions failing us, and our performance at work just plummeting. We don't snap because of one big thing. We break from the slow, steady accumulation of 1,000 little things. It's really easy to look at all this and feel, well, a little bit hopeless. I mean, if the modern world is basically designed to keep the tap on full blast, what are we supposed to do? Are we all just destined to overflow? No, absolutely not. You are not helpless here. You have real agency. You can't always stop the rain from falling, but you can absolutely learn to manage your bucket. And we do this by focusing on two key points of control. First, managing the inflow from the tap, and second, learning how to effectively open the drain to let the stress back out. Okay, let's start with the tap. Now, controlling the inflow isn't about trying to eliminate all stress from your life. That's just impossible. It's about changing your reaction to those stressors. That's how we can slow the flow of water into the bucket. And this incredible quote right here is really the foundation for all psychological resilience. The stimulus is the stressful thing, the angry email, the unexpected bell. Your automatic response is usually panic or anger or anxiety. But the secret, the real game changer, is realizing there's a tiny space in between those two things, a moment where you get to choose. And here's how you can actually find and use that space. It's a simple 3-step process. First, when you feel that trigger, you just pause. One deep breath is usually enough to interrupt that automatic panic. Second, you reappraise. You ask yourself, hang on, is my reaction here proportional to what just happened? Is this email really a life-threatening tiger? And then third, you choose a more thoughtful response, one that actually serves your long-term goals, not just your immediate panic. Just practicing this can turn that tap from a fire hose into a manageable little drip. All right, so controlling the inflow is half the battle. But the other equally important half is actively draining the bucket. And this is all about recovery.
We really have to stop thinking of recovery as some kind of luxury or something we only do when we're completely exhausted. It's not. It is the daily, non-negotiable maintenance that keeps your water level from getting too high. And it turns out there are 3 drains that are way more powerful than any others.
First and foremost is sleep. I mean, it's everything. When you're in a deep sleep, your brain activates this amazing cleaning crew. It's called the glymphatic system, which gets 400% more active than when you're awake. It literally flushes out all the stress hormones and metabolic junk that built up during the day. So prioritizing your sleep is like opening the main drain valve on your bucket every single night. Next up, movement. Remember how we said our stress response was built to get us ready for physical action? Well, exercise is how we complete that ancient biological cycle. It metabolizes all the cortisol and adrenaline that are flooding your system, and it sends a signal to your body that you have successfully fought or fled the tiger. It's the physiological all-clear signal we're missing in modern life. And finally, connection. This might be the most underrated and most powerful drain of them all. Having meaningful social connection is quite possibly the single strongest buffer we have against the negative effects of stress. It literally calms our nervous system down and changes how we see the world. And get this, research consistently shows that having strong social support can reduce your risk of death from cardiovascular disease by 50%. Let that sink in. That's the same impact as quitting smoking. Connection isn't just a nice to have. It is a profound biological necessity for managing stress.
So when you put all of this together, we get a brand new and I think much more useful definition of resilience. It's not about just being tough or pretending stress doesn't affect you. True resilience is the skill of actively monitoring the water level in your bucket and then consciously managing both the inflow and the outflow every single day.
So this isn't just a metaphor anymore, right? It's a real diagnostic tool you can use. So I'll leave you with this question. Take an honest look. Is your bucket dangerously full right now? And if it is, what are you going to do about it first? Are you going to work on the tap that's letting stress in? Or are you going to work on the drain that's letting it out? The answer could change everything for you, starting today.